Hello everybody, my name is Suzanne and I garden and grow cut flowers in Devon in the UK. It's been absolutely scorching and even when the sun hasn't been shining it's been very humid. So although I did do some garden jobs over the weekend, it was mainly catching up on having been away on holiday, lots of deadheading, a few little bits of water here and there, although not really anything really. And I've also started making a raised bed at the back of the garden, ready to plant my biennials, and I have planted some of my biennials out, but we'll catch up on that with a tour next week, because I've also been doing lots of seed sowing of hardy annuals, so again we'll catch up on that next week. We'll have a proper catch up on everything that's been going on in the garden. This week we're doing well, it's very nearly a 30 stem challenge, but I'm one stem short, and basically I've made a bouquet. I was inspired to use one of my cafe au lait Dahlias, and I wanted to make a bouquet that I thought it looked nice in. So I walked around the garden with the cafe au lait Dahlia, not the one I've used, but this rather squished looking one. And I walked around the garden and I picked my bucket of flowers using this as inspiration, and this is the bouquet that I have made. So if you'd like to watch me make it, stay tuned. If you don't, maybe see you next week. On with the video. A little bit inspired today by cafe au lait. It's not a great dahlia for retail bouquets. Its vase life isn't so good, and it's always got a really big head for its stems, but for an event, for one day, it is a lovely dahlia. So I thought I went around the garden, and I mean, it's not quite a 30 stem challenge, but I love working with colour, as you all know, and I like to sort of pick a palette and work to it. So I walked around the garden with this cafe au lait and selected a few, some things just one stem of. We've got one scabious there. I think we've got 3 of these. This is, I'll come back to you with that in a minute. I've got 3 of those. Cinnamon basil is finally got woody stemmed enough to use. It's, you know, it's creeping on well into September now, so I don't think I'm going to get to use that very much for bouquets that I'm selling. So I thought I'd have a play with that today, because I really thought that it really complemented the slight purple in here. I'll have to check, but I think this is Amy Cave. I really like it. I also thought that the Joey Joshua had that sort of, went well with the Amy Cave there, and I'm sure I've got another day. Oh yeah, I got one tiny Carmenere because I didn't really want a big one, because obviously we've got the big cafe au lait. We've got one Astrantia stem. I haven't got a lot of foliage. One broom stem. One Dorcas, slightly pinky tinge to that one. One straw flower. 3 of these so sweetly smelling. Oh, that one's the one I can never pronounce because it's a bit Frenchy. Jour d'hiver. I will write it down. Love the smell of that one. I've also got a little tiny stem of Bonica, and I've got one tiny wine-eyed Jill, if I can get her out. There she is. Some apricot statice, some creme brulee phlox, and somewhere a cherry caramel phlox right at the back there, and one hydrangea limelight, which is really just going to sort of be my base. Is that everybody? Oh no, I've got a few snapdragons in here as well. I've not used a lot of snapdragons this year. Not sure why. These are some of the monarch mix. And then somewhere I've got, I think this is an apple blossom there. Oh, I think that's everybody. So I'm going to go ahead and make a little bouquet, and then we can see what it looks like at the end. I'm going to thread the cafe au lait through, because otherwise its head is just going to cause all manner of problems. Just make sure when you do thread things through that you lay the stem the right way, because otherwise what happened then is I can't then lay other things, if that makes any sense at all. So a lot of you will know I'm not a fan of a round thing. I much prefer things that you look at from one direction, mainly because I find that easier to make. I find, So many broken stems. Yeah, I just find round. So I'm still, although I'm turning this, I'm still not really giving it anything in the way of, it's still got a back. The other one with a broken stem. I'm just going around now and just adjusting the heights of some things. I found a zinnia and a piece of oregano. Just had a delivery, which is quite handy because it's some more elastic bands, because I've got buckets full of things that need drying, which I actually cut before I went on holiday, and I didn't really want to leave them in the buckets. So when I've had some lunch, that's what I'll do. I'll do that. So I've just tied this off now, which helps me because I have a really tight hold. So once I've tied it off, I can give it a shake, and then it is all a bit looser. I've just got a gap here, but I don't know if I can get this straw flower to behave because it's a bit floppy. I just can't get it to quite do as it's told. Oh, that might work. That might work. There's a rose way down in there, and although that pains me, you want things deeper in your bouquet. You don't want everything at the same height. I know when I first started playing with flowers, everything was very uniform. Because I've got a tight hold, I find it very easy to make very small bouquets with millions of flowers. The trick to good floristry is being able to do the opposite. It's being able to make a bouquet look really big with hardly any flowers. And honestly, that's something I'm still learning. I'm not sure how many stems this is actually. I'll edit this bit out. It very nearly is a 30 stem challenge. It's 29 stems. So if any of you follow Common Farm Flowers, which I'm sure you do, Georgie often does a 30 stem challenge, and you just go around your garden and see if you can cut 30 stems. So this can be mine. So I'll tie a ribbon on this and take a few photographs and things for my social media. And then this isn't a commission, this was just me having a play, so this will go in the house then. And this may be this week's video, so if it is, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next week. There'll be a tour next week, so don't worry, there will be a tour. Probably I've got all the flowers to hang up and dry, so this probably is your video this week. So I hope you enjoyed creating this little bouquet that was inspired by the Cafe lait Dahlia there. And why not go out in your garden and pick a flower maybe to be inspired by and go from there. Thanks again for watching. See you next week.